Denver Broncos management within the context of this Russell Wilson situation that happened last week that we haven't had a chance to weigh in on, under the guise of 23 outstanding business that we need to handle going into 24. Not only was it dirty, for all the reasons that everybody's probably already articulated, but the more I think about it, the more it just strikes me as just dumb.
Why?
Because it's like, well, because it wasn't well thought out. It wasn't well thought out. Because here's the thing. Like, if you don't want to be on the hook for $37 million in 2025, okay, because Russell Wilson got injured in 2023, that's completely understandable and not unprecedented. That's completely understandable. So, if you're the Denver Broncos, if you want to bench him back at the bye week, then just bench him. You ain't got to ask him. You ain't got to negotiate with him. Just bench him. Just say, hey, man, we're shutting you down. But the problem is they wanted his cake and eat it too. They wanted to keep him because they probably at that point still felt like he had the best chance of winning, or gave him the best chance of winning, or at least wanted to give off the impression that they wanted to give themselves the best chance of winning. But, hey, let us off the hook for this guarantee that's guaranteed for injury, you know, the 5th day of the league year in 2024. You know, we don't want to be on the hook in case you get hurt. But this is why it's dumb. He says no, understandably so, and you still playing for 7 more games? And then, when you bench him with 2 games left in the season, under the cover of we want a spark from Jarrett Stidham, he's the backup. So if in a season where 60 dudes have played quarterback, starting at quarterback, so if Jarrett Stidham were to get hurt, guess who's back in the game? Russell Wilson. When the smart thing to do would have been to say, hey, Russ, hey, player, we're benching you. You ain't that good. You ain't that good to begin with. You're not a fit with Sean Payton. This ain't working out. We ain't trying to be on the hook for your money. Put him in a position to if he wants to play. You know, we often say, like, with like dealing with people, like, let them think it's their idea, you know, so they'll buy into it. Put him in a position to voluntarily waive his injury guarantee if he wants to keep playing. But what made you think that wasn't going to get out? What made you think that you could do that, bluff? He called your bluff, and nobody ever found out about it. It's Russell Wilson you're dealing with. You don't think this dude know how to play politics? Now you look silly when if you'd have just done it, or if you weren't going to do it back in the bye week, if you wanted to do it with 2 games left, and you had never gone to him and tried to extort him, nobody would have been the wiser, and nobody would have blamed you. Because at the end of the day, Russell Wilson, I don't care what his stats say, he's not that good. Say what you want about Sean Payton, Russell Wilson's not that good. Okay, 2 things can be true. Sean Payton could be a problem. Russell Wilson cannot be the solution, okay? So if you bench him with 2 games left, because of the obvious financial reasons, I don't think many people would be critical of that move. They did it with Derek Carr last year. The problem is that you asked a grown-ass man to give up his guarantee.
Yeah, well, that's part of the problem.
And tried to extort him. That was dirty and dumb. They didn't think it through. But they're in positions of power.
I give you that. That's part of the problem, is that it was dirty and dumb. The other part of the problem, and I like seeing that the NFLPA calling him out on this, part of the problem is just the contract. It's just the way the NFL does contracts. So if you sense a theme from me today, I guess it's just revolution, it's rebellion, okay? I just want a revolution, man. We can't keep doing what we're doing and pretend like it's okay. So for 2 years in a row, Jarrett Stidham, you said Russell Wilson's not that good? You know who's worse than Russell Wilson?
Jarrett Stidham, yeah.
You know who's worse than Derek Carr? Jarrett Stidham. 2 years in a row, AFC West coaches have said, we're going to get a spark from Jarrett Stidham. And they're both full of it. Josh McDaniels and Sean Payton, totally full of it. You're lying.
Totally.
You're lying. They're not better than your guy. And so it's already bad enough that these players truly are putting their lives on the line, no exaggeration, putting their lives on the line every week playing pro football. We know what the risk involved with the sport. We already know they're not fully guaranteed contracts. But now you're taking something that's not solid anyway, that's already fluid, and now you're totally destroying the spirit of something that is signed, the limited amount, the 75% that they do get guaranteed, or 65%, whatever it is in each case. You're taking that and you're lying and you're going away from the spirit of that agreement, which was not a great agreement in the first place. So I think if I wish, does the league have a commissioner? I don't know. But if the league had a commissioner,
but Mike,
the commissioner would shut this down. The commissioner would shut it down and say, we can't do this.
No, but see, I respect where you're coming from, but I have to respectfully disagree on whether or not the Broncos have a right to do this. They don't have a right, it's not right, to go to this man and ask him, and again, extort him, blackmail him, whatever the right phrase is, and say, hey, if you don't do X, we're gonna do Y. Like, that was wrong, full stop.
Right.
Full stop, that was wrong. But there is no, to my knowledge, clause in the CBA that dictates that a team has to pay a player.
No, they don't.
They have to pay that player, but they don't have to play that player. You and I, in our business, there's pay or play clauses in our contract. Nobody has to put us on
But we know
air.
what it is.
They just have to pay us.
See, but we know what's happening here. You're right. I can't go into, let me check. Okay, I mentioned New England earlier. New England's a good example. Or Pittsburgh. I can't go to Mike Tomlin and say, no, hey, you got to play Kenny Pickett. No, Mason Rudolph's got to go to the bench. I can't say that.
Right.
I can't go to Belichick and say, hey, you got to play Mac Jones, not Bailey Zappi. But those are football decisions. Clearly, we know it. You know it when you see it. Judges, we know it when we see it. We know what this is about. We know why.
But it's still not wrong. But that's their prerogative.
Because
it's wrong for them to not want to be on the hook for $37 million. They went about it the wrong way, but it's not wrong.
Now you're going to manipulate it. So, hey, listen, Commissioner, don't tell me anything. I don't want to hear this. You know what? You know why everybody's playing each other this weekend? You know why the Commanders are playing the Cowboys and the Eagles are playing the Giants and the Patriots are playing the Jets? Because the commissioner a few years ago came out and said, I don't like the way we're manipulating the games. And it's unfair that teams are sitting starters out to get the results that they want. So we're going to make these games competitive and make them divisional games.
Division games, yeah.
So it's because it's about the spirit of the game. Well, the same thing is happening here. You're messing with the spirit of the game.
So I'm hearing you.
No, it's better because you don't want to.
I'm hearing you. So I'm hearing you in the spirit of revolution, okay, that you're operating under. I hear you. I do. And just generally speaking, we do agree. Because it's not, but this is not a new thing. And it's not exclusive to the NFL where these contracts work one way. You and I both know, hey, they can cut you at any point. They're not fully guaranteed contracts. They can cut you at any point. They can trade you at any point, which is why you, me, and many others hip enough to this game know never to criticize players who hold out for more money or who demand or request trades because their contract demands aren't being met. Okay? Lamar Jackson. All right? Like, get your money. Get your money. Because whenever necessary, they will show you the door when they deem it necessary. Or in this case, try to manipulate it to where they don't have to pay you in 2025. But from a team building perspective, Michael, I say again, it's not unprecedented. Financial moves are made all the time, whether it's contract restructurings, contract renegotiations, or flat out cutting or trading somebody. To not want to be on the hook for 2025 is understandable given Russell Wilson's flaws, stats notwithstanding. So I think we agree on both. They went about it the wrong way. We agree that NFL contracts ain't worth the paper that they're printed on.
Not at all.
But in this instance, I think we could also agree that, like, would you want to be on the hook for Russell Wilson for $37 million in 2025?
I would not. And here's a compromise. Here's more of a compromise, and this is an NFLPA issue, and it can't. There's nothing that can be done about it until, just realistically, as much as I'm talking about revolution, I know how the game works, and there will be no substantial changes to contracts and how business is done until there is a new collective bargaining agreement. I mean, these things are collectively bargained, and so they operate within those parameters. So this exists because the CBA says you can do it this way. But I think the compromise, if I'm the players, the next contract, I said, well, you can't put this stuff in here because we've seen it happen already. You can't put in, hey, this is guaranteed in 2025 if there's no injury here in 2023. We're already, so you're being benched. In other words, Russell and Derek Carr, you're being benched in one season because your employers are not thinking about this season or the next season, but the season after that.
Well, but no, hold on. But
that's
they also agreed to that. No. I'm just saying, no, but they also agreed to that contract. Like,
that's
if
what
you
I'm
don't
saying.
want to be at the,
I would say take that out.
Okay. Because if you didn't want to be at the mercy of that clause,
right,
finish your season healthy, and it's still fully guaranteed, and not just for injury until the 5th day of the league year. It's only for injury right now. If you want to avoid this kind of situation, fight for the fully guaranteed.
Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget, you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.